Hello, I'm IBX Toycat, and with Minecraft PlayStation Vita coming out very shortly, there will be 5 editions of Minecraft for the console available for purchase soon. And if you're a Minecraft console guy like myself who follows it really closely, it can be really confusing working out exactly what the difference is between all of those consoles are. Because with 5 of them out, it's kind of, confusing to work out. So what is the difference between Minecraft Xbox 60 and Minecraft PS3? What is the difference between Minecraft PlayStation Vita and Minecraft PlayStation 3? And all this sort of kind of weird questions about their edition differences. So I figured I'd try and put it to rest in this video about what the differences between those consoles are, because I've never properly covered it before, and yeah, let's do that today. So let's start with Minecraft PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. We won't be talking about those today because they're on a slightly higher tier, so if I have to describe it, you've got a slightly topper tier with better graphics, slightly bigger world, that sort of stuff, and eventually we'll have more features. You've got Xbox One and PS4 out there because they're on the latest released consoles. Then on the slightly lower tier than that, you've got Minecraft Xbox 60 and Minecraft PlayStation 3. These are on older consoles, of course. They run a slightly lower version of the game, but they've got all the same features there. And then off to the side there, still on the same kind of level, but portable, you've got the Minecraft PlayStation Vita Edition. So hopefully that kind of weird mental diagram explains it for you. If it doesn't, then let's get straight into the comparison, and let's start with the Xbox 360 edition of the game. So the Xbox 60 edition of the game is the very first one that came out, and has a lot of advantages as a result of that, because obviously if the game's been out longer, then it means that there's a lot of advantages, like the fact that it's going to have more DLC, because it's been out for longer, more DLC kind of been developed for it. It's going to have more players. It has 13 million sales. The Minecraft PlayStation 3 something like 2 or 3 million, so like it outnumbers it 4 to 1, 5 to 1, so therefore it has a larger community, if you will, community in big air quotes, whatever that means, and it has a few advantages to that sort of thing, but as far as actual gameplay is concerned, as far as like being able to craft stuff, as far as the controls, all that sort of weird stuff, it's exactly the same. So it's they're both running on the same update at all times, they're both running the same number of players in multiplayer, and they both have the same world size and graphic kind of setting. It looks exactly the same essentially. The only real difference you can tell aesthetically is the fact that it has different buttons. So speaking of the Minecraft PS3 edition, what does it actually have that's slightly worse then? Because a lot of people consider the Xbox 60 edition to be slightly more playable. As I said, the advantages like more players is better, more DLC is better. There's no mashup packs at all on the PS3, but besides that, they are pretty much kind of the same game, and there isn't really any real downsides to the PS3 edition of the game besides things that come with just inherently being on a PS3. Not trying to make any bad comments here, but stuff like the voice chat generally is considered to be worse. The way you invite people is generally considered to be worse. Some people might prefer it, but a lot of people say it's not quite as good. The updates generally come a little bit slower, so if getting it the day an update comes out is important. They generally take a few days and sometimes a couple weeks to get an update out for the PS3, which is the same as the Xbox 61, just because of certification and whatnot, and that does create a few downsides for some of the players, because of course it's nice having something as soon as it comes out. It's nice being able to talk to your friends better, and if you had to decide right now, having both consoles, an Xbox 60 and a PS3, I'd say the Xbox 60 would probably be the better console, but through no fault of the PlayStation 3 version of the game. Likewise, if you just have a PlayStation 3, it's not worth going out buying an Xbox 60, because you get a few benefits, and they're kind of nice, but it's not worth an entire new console. It's definitely just worth picking it up and dealing with the very few downsides, because the entire game, like the fun parts of Minecraft, the parts that everyone loves about it, are exactly the same across those two consoles. So that's that kind of Xbox 60 versus PS3 thing managed. Next, Minecraft PS3 against the PS Vita. So what is the PS Vita version of the game brings to the table, because supposedly it's the same as the PS3. That's what we've been going around here a lot, but I'm going to talk about the slight differences between the PS3 and the PS Vita version that we know today. So first of all, I believe the frame rate is actually going to be 60, so it's going to play exactly the same. The world size is going to be the same, because you can transfer worlds from your PS3 to your PS Vita, so we know the world size have to be the same for that to even make any sense. And on top of that, we know that it's going to be running the same version of the game, and it's going to get updates at the same time. So what sacrifices did they make to get it on a portable console? Honestly, not that many, because it's a pretty powerful, the PS Vita is actually pretty powerful. It's almost as powerful as the PS3. However, not quite, so there is a few areas where we see a downgrade. The first big one, for some people, it's not really that big because of the screen, but it's only a 540p version of the game as opposed to 720p. This means you'll notice there'll be a slightly better looking version of the game on PS3, but because you've got a much smaller screen, and it is only 540p anyway, you probably might think that the PS Vita version of the game looks better in some circumstances. However, just these basic looks of the game isn't the only thing that got downgraded. First of all, the render distance looks to be at least a tiny bit lower on the PS3, so some things you can see on your PS3 worlds, you won't be able to see on your PS Vita. Again, it looks like from their trailer progression, they've been slowly upping that render distance, they've been optimizing the game for the PS Vita, and that's probably why they delayed it a little bit, to try and get it exactly the same. Maybe they're going for exactly the same, maybe they're going for just the tiny bit lower, but it's still pretty impressive. So I'm, impressed with exactly what they're doing there. So although the PS Vita version of the game itself is a little bit toned down, not as much toned down as you might figure, but it's a tiny bit toned down, I'd say it actually improves the PS3 version, and the PS3 version kind of improves the PS Vita version. Because they're so closely linked, you can transfer worlds from one to the other, supposedly that's what we say right now, then you can actually just take your worlds on the go view, and you can take your on the go worlds, you can actually work on your on the go worlds at home, for instance. So you can be like, oh, I want to work on my big important build that I've been spending so many nights, fussing about. Then you can be like, I'm going to take that on the subway or the train or whatever, wherever you're going, the bus with me, and you can do loads of cool things like that. And that's a really big value sell to me. Like, if I had a PS Vita, I would totally be down to just take PS3 worlds on the go with me. There's some really cool things I could picture doing with that, and I really see those two versions helping each other. So in addition to the fact that the PS3 and the PS Vita version are really interchangeable and they're cross-buy, so you get one for free if you buy the other one, which, kind of helps that value even more. So even if you have to go out and buy a PS Vita, it's nice because you get the game for free. But in addition to that, using your PS Vita, and I think it's cross-play on your PS4, you can actually play the PS4 edition of the game on your PS Vita while you're connected to it via Wi-Fi, I believe. So that means that in addition to just being able to play your PS3 edition worlds on the go, you can play your PS4 worlds from your sofa. I guess you could always play from your sofa, but you can take your PS4 worlds into a more comfortable position, take the screen into your eyes, kind of like a Wii U, but like that sort of thing, and that's a really tempting value sale too. So that doesn't actually require Minecraft PS Vita, but it's another handy thing you can do with your PS Vita. So if you're on the PlayStation side of things, and you already own a PS3 and a PS Vita, I'd say buy one because you get the other free anyway, and even though there are some downsides, like I listed earlier, it's still some really, the stuff you gain from it, I'd say is much cooler. You might start missing some of the mashup packs, some of the texture packs, but I think the stuff you get from being able to take your worlds on the go is a much bigger value sale personally. However, if you already own an Xbox 60, or maybe you own both, and you don't intend to own a PS Vita at any point, or maybe your next-gen console is an Xbox One, not a PS4, then maybe the Xbox 6 edition is the one for you. More mashup packs, currently the most DLC of any console out there, the most sold version of any console out there, and honestly, there's just a big die-hard community of people for it. So, yeah, pick on base what you want. Hopefully, I probably explained the differences between the Xbox 60, the PS3, and the PS Vita. If you're out there still and you can't decide which one you want, I assume if you're watching my videos, because I'm a Minecraft console guy and you probably subscribed to me, that you already own one of the editions, but that's kind of an explanation on what's going on there. So like the video if you liked it, share it if you really liked it, and you have a friend that wants to get into Minecraft console or something, but they don't understand all these different games. Other than that, thank you for watching the video, and here is some music, some nice new outro music actually, but yeah.